I'm David Volk for Chin Music. Today's post, Project 2025 gets constipation, even if it does suffer from diarrhea of the pen. It's true. Even something as riveting as war can become duller than dishwater when it falls into the hands of the wrong writer. And Christopher Miller is just such a writer. Instead of spinning a tale of military heroics and close battles lost for the lack of a penny part, an updated weapon system, or basic preparedness, Miller justifies the changes Project 2025 wants to make to the Department of Defense in this chapter by telling a story so dull that I drifted off and woke to the sound of my own snoring with my face flat on my computer keyboard. If I'd been using a typewriter, I bet I'd have had the indentations of several keys on my forehead. While he could have focused on spies and enemy infiltrators to explain the need for all that Heritage wants to do, he chose to go on and on about leftist, Marxist, trans, opposite-sex leaning, climate change believing commies. By the way, am I the only one who notices the irony of the Republicans' embrace of former communist Vladimir Putin? He chooses all this, undermining the current non-existent war effort. He could have had us on the edge of our seats with daring rescues made by plucky patriots who were left high and dry by weapon shortages, saving the day with little more than a single Swiss Army knife. But he gave us lists instead. He could have scared us with images of wolves prowling around outside our homes in the dead of winter, recent footage of Russian boats off Cuba, and North Korea conducting missile tests. But he focused on reforms in spending and administration instead. What's the matter, Chris? Didn't you read how Tom Sawyer convinced his friends to finish whitewashing, that is, a fence that his aunt made him paint? Oh, yeah, that's right. You didn't, because it's one of the books your glorious leader wants to ban. So not only do you want to scare us, you don't have the imagination to do it convincingly. That isn't to say that there aren't things that aren't scary about what you've written in Project 2025. The possibility that the Heritage Foundation wants to create what appears to be a military filled with right-thinking, red hat-wearing, conservative-only soldiers with no moderating influences scares the bejesus out of me. The idea that the U.S. is going to stop relying on deterrence and will focus on offensive weapons, besides Trump that is, and the likelihood that it will reignite a Cold War frightens me to no end. And even the remote possibility that Dementia J. Trump could have all this power in his tiny little fingertips has me so worried I'm considering my options for emigration. The other thing that bothers me is that Chris wants something called irregular warfare. Try as I might, I can't figure out what the hell it is. Is that a fighting force filled with people who suffer from irregularity? Will there be an all-constipated Air Force, Army, Marine Corps, Navy, and Space Force? And if we end up with a draft, will it be a conscripted, constipated military? And what will be the cause of said constipation? Will it be their failure to eat prunes and take X-Lax? I guess it kind of makes sense because there are a few people more pissed off than those who can't poop. Trust me, I know, having been through the situation myself. Yes, I know, it's oversharing. At the same time, it has also been my experience that when I'm constipated, I'm not so interested in being all that active, let alone running through enemy lines. To be perfectly honest, in that situation, I'm more worried about the bathroom line than I am the enemy lines, or the Maginot line. I just want to sit down, take whatever measures are necessary, and wait for the situation to pass. And how would they even recruit for something like that? Would they go to drugstores and see who's buying any product with the word lax in it? What about suppositories? And then there's the whole question about how the military would keep them irregular. Would Project 2025 ban the sale of laxatives the way they want to ban the sale of the medical abortion pill mifepristone? So many questions, so few answers. If I had been your teacher, Chris, I would have rejected this essay outright. So, my advice to you is to take it back and try again. Or, as Gene Wilder said in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
And the saga continues.